You may not know this about me, but I have absolutely no interest in the international break. And when there is an international break on, I tend to take a little bit of time away from YouTube and just do me in that time. I promise you that I'm not lazy when it comes to doing YouTube, and certainly over the last few months I haven't been lazy. I just have other things to do in my life. I don't want to just stay at home and do videos all day. I like to go out and do stuff, basically. So that's why I don't really do this very often. Now, in today's video, I'm going to be talking about something that broke on Patreon by ex-Western United employee. A big piece of news came out over the last, I would say, 15 hours that has kind of got West Ham fans either excited or putting in some reasonable doubt. West Ham has been linked with a loan move for German international Timo Werner. Werner, who, well, as should say, flopped at Chelsea, is currently playing in his second stint for RB Leipzig. Steiten has identified the player as a possible loan signing for January, and it's causing a bit of a mixed reaction on Twitter. I'm going to be reacting to this news and giving my thoughts on why this Chelsea flop might, and I say might because that's the correct term to use, might be a good bit of business for West Ham. But then again, there will always be people who doubt that he will. But with this player, there is reason to be cautious. When I heard that Timo Werner was linked with a move to West Ham, I didn't know whether I was excited or not. I know that he's excelled in the Bundesliga, but the Premier League has been a completely different kettle of fish for him, and it was a challenge that he didn't necessarily rise up to. When Chelsea signed him in 2020, he'd just come off of an excellent season with RB Leipzig. He'd scored 28 goals in 34 league games, and Chelsea fans were thinking that he could be the next legendary striker of the club. However, things didn't quite work out as anticipated. In 56 games across 2 seasons, he scored 10 goals in the league. And eventually, he was sold back to RB Leipzig. It's something that is often talked about when we mention Bundesliga tax, but the term really did come into effect here for Chelsea. The same thing happened with Kai Havertz. I think the same thing might happen with Nkunku, to be quite honest with you. He'll probably end up having the Bundesliga tax, being placed on his head. That's just going to happen. Because it's like the players in Germany don't often excel in England. Well, they don't always. Some do really, really well, like Mesut Ozil came from the Bundesliga, went to La Liga, and then Arsenal did excellently well. I mean, West Ham signed a lot of players from Germany in the past. But the Bundesliga tax thing, I don't always really apply it with West Ham. I will say that the Werner news is something that's being greeted with both positivity and cautious doubt. The positivity is that Werner is a very pacey player. He had the nickname Turbo Tim for a reason. He's a player with a lot of pace and acceleration on the ball. This is something that could really help a counter-attacking team like West Ham, and someone who could be seen as an upgrade on Ben Rama in terms of the pace. While Ben Rama's a little bit more technical skilled, he does lack a lot of pace. Werner can help down the channels a bit more. I would say that the doubt here is because of his stint at Chelsea. Well, here's what I would say. It's about revival, in a way, and Timo's going to want to probably revive his career in the Premier League again if he wishes to take up that option. If Steiten wishes to convince him a lot, I think Werner could come to England, excel there, I suppose on a loan deal, and maybe we could explore the possibility of a permanent signing. However, if he were to do that, I wouldn't necessarily welcome it. I'd take him on loan for now, but if we have him permanently, the wages might be too high, and there's always that chance that he's going to flop, and it's not going to go really according to plan. Pace injection certainly is the most appealing thing. As I say, he's a very fast player. maybe he can be more of a provider than a goal scorer. Chelsea probably used him a bit more of as a creative player than a clinical player. I know he had a knack for scoring against West Ham at some point, so he knows everything about what it feels like to score for Chelsea against us. But still, though, I think with the right kind of tactics and in the right system, he'd flourish. I wouldn't be completely against signing Werner, but I think it is going to be a certainty that we do get at least one name such as him linked with us in January, and we will end up bringing in another forward. Because Antonio's done his hamstring. Bowen had to be withdrawn from the England team because of a minor injury. Well, it's supposedly minor. Danny Ings is, well, get him out the door, basically. Will Werner join or not? I don't know. But a loan signing is something I would welcome because it's going to give us a chance to have a trial period with the player. And if we want to sign him permanently, well, that's going to be a big discussion that has to be made within the top hierarchy of the club. I don't really know, though. Maybe we just see how it goes. But a pace injection is going to be vital for West Ham. Werner could be that guy to give it.